The Dune Part 2 trailer is finally here. The last trailer we watched that we did a breakdown of was just the teaser. This is the main official trailer for Dune Part 2. Guys, this is probably my most anticipated movie of my lifetime. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see Lord of the Rings in theaters when it came out. I didn't really get a chance to see Star Wars when it came out, and those were the big epic movies, kind of the last couple decades. So this is really special for me. I just finished reading Dune Messiah, and I'm on to Children of Dune. So this is all very fresh in my mind, the first book. So let's just dive into this and break this trailer down, because this isn't a reaction video. I have already seen it. I couldn't help myself, but let's get into it.
This world is beyond cruelty. You've been fighting.
I apologize. I have to pause it every once in a while just because if I don't, I will get copyright claims because Warner Brothers is like that. But so let me just comment, first of all, on the cinematography and the visuals of Dune. Denis Villeneuve's style is very particular. It's a lot different than the David Lynch version of Dune. David Lynch's, although I love it, it was very stylized, almost too much so. I think this is more my speed, more of kind of a grounded look at what Dune, the world of Dune would look like if it was actually taking place. So that I absolutely love. But here we get the Baron Harkonnen and the Beast Rabban staring at each other. So this looks really, really cool so far.
Fighting the Harkonnens for decades. My family's been fighting them for centuries. They were massacred alongside my father. Your father didn't believe in revenge.
Yeah, so I find it interesting. They're talking about Duke Leto and his kind of moral compass, and Duke Leto was he was kind of the good guy of this story, and of course he's killed off in the first movie, halfway through the first book. And it's a shame because he's such an awesome. He's the rock of the Atreides house. He is everything that the Atreides represents. And so it's interesting they're kind of having this conversation, because if you haven't read the first book, or I'm sorry, the second book, where it goes is a very kind of darker place than you might expect. So it's kind of cool they're bringing up the nuances of what Duke Leto believed should happen for Arrakis, and what is actually going to take place. So
we believe in Fremen.
Let me fight beside you.
Reload!
Wow, so that's really cool. Getting to see, of course, in this movie we're going to see more of Chani. She is a big character, like a huge character in the books. So I know some people don't like Zendaya, and whatever. I don't think she's like necessarily the greatest actress ever, but I think a good director like Denis Villeneuve can pull something out of her from an acting standpoint to really make her performance shine. Because really, Chani has to be great in order, I think, for this movie to fully succeed as a film adaptation to the book. Chani is Paul's rock. Even when he goes sort of a separate path, she is still there to be his Sihaya. He adores Chani, and it's really cool to see her fight too. I think that's awesome. So I'm loving this.
He said,
I got that. Thanks.
I won't be fighting for him. I'm fighting for my people.
I love this kind of orangey aesthetic that it reminds me a lot of the copy of Dune that I have is like exactly the shade of orange. So it's just a little touch, but it's really kind of cool. Because honestly, David Lynch's Dune was very orange heavy when they were in the desert of Arrakis during the daytime or the evening. It kind of had this orangey hue to it. So that's kind of neat. They're pulling stuff like that from the David Lynch adaptation.
You young pup.
Oh, I love that. Gurney Halleck has returned, you young pup. Again, another line straight from the book. I love seeing them reunite. They're such a great pair of characters. Gurney is such a devoted follower of House Atreides, and to see them reunite right in front of me in live action is like it's just like the book coming to life. It's unbelievable. So great stuff.
Do you believe in Paul?
There are signs.
So that, let me go back a little bit. That is right here. So we see Paul's mother talking to Stilgar, saying, "Do you believe in Paul?" And at that point in the story, he's like, there are signs he might be. But this shot right here, like I discussed in the other breakdown video, because that's that same scene, he's fully in. He's totally like, Paul is the Kwisatz Haderach. He is the chosen one. And in this moment, he kind of realizes and then from then on, he's all for the cause. He's kind of, in a sense, radicalized. And so it's really great that they're touching on, these are all elements from the book that they're just directly adapting. So it's great to see that.
The prophet. Why is that a bad thing? Use it. Because
Very interesting. Again, the Bene Gesserit witches have implanted religion into a whole lot of worlds in the book, including Arrakis. And so it's funny because Gurney's almost kind of aligning with them. Even if you may not be the chosen one, if you don't think you are, why don't you use that power to gain even more power? So it's opposing views, because you have the view of Duke Leto, who's very much so like, we want to be a compassionate ruler to the people of Arrakis, work with them. And Gurney's almost like, you know what? Use the power that they are giving you. Don't be afraid of it. And Paul is obviously incredibly apprehensive about that, because he has visions of what happens if he steps into this role as the Kwisatz Haderach.
All my visions lead to horror.
because you lose control.
Because I gain it.
That is a wonderful line. And that's exactly what I'm saying. He's not scared of losing the power, but gaining it, but gaining the power to become that monster that he sees himself becoming. He doesn't want it to happen, but it's almost destined. So this is exactly what, in my opinion, this is exactly what Frank Herbert was getting at with Dune as a whole. It's questioning your leaders, questioning those in control, and not deifying them. They're human too. So this is just a fantastic trailer.
Johnny, do you believe in me?
Paul Atreides is still alive.
So there we have our first look at Christopher Walken as the Emperor, the Padishah Emperor of the known universe. And to be honest, I was a little apprehensive about the casting choice, not because Christopher Walken isn't great, but because he's mostly a comedic actor. And plus in the book, he's described as being very old, but looking a lot younger. So for this, it seems like they just kind of made him old, which is fine. It's not a huge detail, but there's something in Christopher Walken's eyes. He's a little terrifying. So this is, I think, inspired casting. Not exactly what I would have chosen, but I think it's really going to work.
Deal with this prophet.
Show me who you are.
This is awesome. So this is Austin Butler as Fade Routha, the nephew of the Baron Harkonnen. And this is a wonderful scene from the book. In my opinion, one of the best. And it's really cool. It seems like they're really doing justice to the books and how this arena scene is described. You also had some pretty scary looking characters in the background. I don't know. What is that? That is kind of frightening. Anyway, let's move on.
Your father was a weak man. Look who's back from the dead.
Oh, I love this, guys. I've got chills all over. This is the moment in the trailer when I first saw it. Again, I'm so ashamed I didn't do a reaction to it. I couldn't help myself, but that just chills everywhere. This is Gurney coming back. Beast Raban is like, look who's back from the dead. This is so cool. It's so cool. They're just bringing this book to life in all the best ways. This is so awesome.
Now do what must be done.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not hope!
So again, we have more scenes with Chani kicking some butt. This is great. Really cool. And it kind of almost, this like framing of the shot reminds me of the framing from the first movie where it's a vision of Paul and he's slaying all these, Sardaukar or Harkonnen. And so it almost looks like the same shot, but it's really cool to see her in action. I think we'll get a lot of great scenes. This is going to be a huge epic movie. There's going to be a lot of battles. I know some people said the first movie is a little slow, and I get that, but so is the first half of the book. Honestly, the second half is where everything. I could not put the book down. It was a fantastic read. So
I will love you as long as I breathe.
This prophecy is how they enslave us!
It's not a prophecy. It's a story.
I don't care what you believe. I believe.
Oh my God. Oh, this is such a cool shot. Also, in the comments, let me know who you think that is. Because again, if you've read the book, you know that Paul's sister, she's supposed to be in this. If she's not in it, there will be hell to pay. Saint Aliyah of the Knife has to be in this movie. So that would be unbelievably cool if that was actually her.
I am Paul Muad'Dib Atreides, Duke of Arrakis.
Oh man, this is so cool. This seems to be right before the siege on the main city of Arrakis, where they take back the old Atreides house. This is unbelievable. At this point, all the Fremen are just bought in. They're totally ready to go fight and die for Muad'Dib, and this is just absolutely brilliant.
He who can destroy a thing has the real control of it.
Wow. He who has the control of a thing has the power to... That is unbelievable. I messed up the quote, but that is directly from the book. Again, they're pulling more lines directly from the book because, in my opinion, I think Denis Villeneuve truly cares about the book and the source material. He really wants to do the best job that he can in adapting Frank Herbert's vision for Dune. And I think it is just... This is probably my most anticipated movie of all time. Like I said in the beginning, I love big, epic sci-fi movies, fantasy movies. But what's so cool about Dune is it's not a surface level. Just battles here, left and right. There's a lot of depth to this story. It's more of a cautionary tale, more of a tragedy than anything. And in the long run. So I think this is an amazing trailer, infinitely better than even the first one, which is saying a lot, the teaser, that is. So guys, let me know what you thought in the comments. I will be seeing this in IMAX when it comes out. No questions asked. I don't care what I have to do. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you later.